Israel definitely killed Charlie Kirk. Like, it had to be them. Who else? Who else? I know. Dude, all of my haters be like, you're just like Hassan. You're just like white Hassan. You're just like white boy Hassan. It's like, man, I don't agree with him on everything, and he like said multiple times, like, I just don't think Israel killed him, and I'm like, why? Why not? Because he wasn't anti-Israel. Like, so that doesn't matter. Like, I don't know, Hassan. Like, if you do end up watching this somehow, I mean, probably not. Like, you got a lot of shit on your plate, big dog. I know, but like, dude, why? Why couldn't Israel assassinate Charlie Kirk? I don't know. Like, haven't they killed like, I mean, it's not like they've killed someone as publicly or as or with as much clout as Charlie Kirk, right? But like, they've certainly murdered people for less. A lot less. Welcome back. It's the J-Star broadcast. I'm J-Star. We're watching Asmongold. Let's go. This video is called He Knows It's Over.
All the haters can kiss my ass. Let me guess.
Well, hello, and listen. Well, New York Magazine claims there was a time when Ben Shapiro could reasonably call...
Okay.
Well, hello, everybody. You know, sometimes here on the Ben Shapiro Show, we cover the news, and sometimes we are the news here at the Daily Wire.
Wow.
Well, over the past few weeks, the Daily Wire, you might have noticed, has been the subject of a bunch of hit pieces. The veritable cornucopia of hit pieces. There was one from the Washington Post, and there was one from Puck, and then finally, there was an especially ridiculous one from the stellar journalists at New York Magazine, who literally plagiarized their hit piece from the Washington Post.
Wow.
So much journalism.
Let's see how he's going to damage control here. Okay, it's been, for those of you that don't know, Ben Shapiro has been suffering immensely, much to my enjoyment. It's been awesome. Okay, my enemies are all coping and crying and seething and whatnot.
This morning,
blah,
New York
blah,
Magazine
blah.
pieces lighting up the interwebs, lighting up X. Well, New York Magazine claims there was a time when Ben Shapiro could reasonably call himself the king of all conservative video.
Nick Fuentes tweeted yesterday. He said, "I won," and he retweeted the New York Magazine saying, "There was a time not very long ago when Ben Shapiro could reasonably call himself the king of all conservative media. Blah, blah, blah. Daily Wire is over." Okay. The reason that it's funny that Nick Fuentes said this is because he, not that long ago, was not at all in opposition to Ben Shapiro. Okay? Like, the only reason that Ben Shapiro and Nick Fuentes are ideologically enemies is because Ben Shapiro supports Israel. Okay, literally, other than that, like, that is I swear, and it's a big thing right now, but it wasn't that long ago. Okay, and that is literally the only thing that separates the two ideologically. Nick Fuentes and Ben Shapiro are both, like, radically extreme racist. They hate black people. They want black people to, like, die or whatever, or leave the country. They think that white people are being replaced. Right? That's it. Okay, that's it. Ben Shapiro is an unbelievable racist. Like, yeah, he may be a little more racist towards Muslims than Nick Fuentes generally. But again, like, the main thing is Israel. They're just they're in opposition on that front, but basically nothing else. The actual person who won in like the long term versus Ben Shapiro is obviously Hassan. Okay, they're like the diametrical opposites in political commentary.
Do you think that his viewership keeps going down, he should make the hat smaller? It's like a power level indicator. Like, if like his subscribers go under like a certain amount, like it should get like nerfed. Hilarious. It's like, you know, in Dragon Ball Z, where it's like, okay, well, how much hair they have? That's like, you know, Super Saiyan 2 or 3. It's like, holy shit, right?
That sounds cool. So that's all over now. The Daily Wire's institute.
People think that Asmon is funny. Right? That's the crazy part to me. Like, to me, Asmongold isn't funny. He isn't relatable. He isn't any of the things that, like, these cretins that watch him say he is. Like, he's not a man of the people. He's just usually kind of cringe. He's occasionally funny. And usually it's an accident. Usually he's not even trying to be funny when he is.
The future of conservatism isn't traditional conservatism.
Like, like in that one video I made, I think I made this video a few weeks ago, but he said something like, you know, there's nothing left to be mad about in gaming because we got rid of wokeness. Like, that shit was funny. Okay, that was a funny bit. Except that it's just that he was being completely serious. He was being like 100% serious, bro.
Equal rights before law, like checks and balances, like traditional virtue. That's done. The future, according to New York Magazine, is Nick Fuentes, confirmed Nazi stan and woman hater, and man who will never be able to get a human woman pregnant through natural means. Or Tucker Carlson, confirmed anti-capitalist and Muslim apologist and victim of demon scratching. Or maybe Candace Owens, the confirmed slanderer of widows and connoisseur of French testicle.
It's so funny that Ben Shapiro says that because he literally admitted that, or he admitted that he can't make his wife wet. Like he said that. I know it's weird, but he did. He said that it was like unnatural for a woman to become wet. He was like, my doctor said that that one.
Maybe Megan Kelly.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh my God.
Of the Daily Wire can be seen as a dire warning for traditional Republicans. There are two realities to Shapiro conservatism in 2026.
That's brutal.
It retains a significant foothold among Republican elites, and it is being fast rejected by the future grassroots of the parties. First of all, that's just wrong. By the polling data, the positions that we take here on the show are reflective of the broad majority of Republicans. That's just the reality. But I figured we should address all of this head on. So, it's true. The Daily Wire laid off some 13% of the workforce since the beginning.
What about Israel, man?
It was truly sad, because all those people are great. At any time, we're in business. Anytime you lay people off as a business, that really sucks. It's tough. It's bad for them. It's bad for us. And I'm personally working to find other places of employ for as many of these people as I possibly can, because everybody who we let go deserves a job somewhere else. They're great folks. But for our critics, this was all cause for a massive celebration. The joyful popping of corks, or maybe in the case of Nick Fuentes, a victory celebration with capitalism lubricant. And listen, we're honored by the attention. See, here's the thing. People only tend to write stories like this about major American institutions, right? Like Amazon dumps people, it's a big story, or the Washington Post dumps people, and that's a big story. And thank God, we are a major American institution. According to PodTrack, our podcast reach is 41 million people per month. We're ranked 6th globally.
Wow.
We have a total of 11 shows. Paramount, to take an example from that same chart, is ranked 4th globally.
Man, this is just sad, bro. Like, this isn't a brag. This is if the Wall Street Journal laid off a bunch of people, it would be big news. Well, yeah. Yeah, it would be. Except the reason that you're big is different from the Wall Street Journal, because you're big because a couple of billionaires donated a fuck ton of money to you. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, that's why the Daily Wire is so huge. It's because a couple of billionaires, but a couple of entrepreneurs, fucking donated to them. My hat is not, it's not standing the way I want it to. Hold on. I'm gonna have to stuff more paper into it. Alright, but I'll do that later. Whatever. Shit. Whatever. I liked how it looked at first.
On a per capita basis, killing it. We are responsible for the two most successful conservative documentaries in history. Matt Walsh is semi-racist and a woman. Just this week, Vice President Vance was quoting our reporting in his fraud investigations, and our White House correspondent, Mary Margaret Olahan,
was in the press room asking
questions.
Wait, Ben Shapiro would be DSP? He could be JSP.
It's JSP.
Oh shit.
I think they were talking about Dark Side Phil.
See, here's the thing. There's no national media.
They're saying,
the top 10 is always producer. Or if Megan Kelly's YouTube account starts shedding tens of thousands of subscribers a month. Or if Tucker Carlson's traffic is disproportionately drawn from Pakistan.
Oh my God.
Fan base. Those are all things that actually happen, by the way. But nobody really cares very much because, yeah, those people have significant audience numbers, but they don't have any real institutional influence. They are not institutions. That's not true of the Daily Wire. We're big enough that people care when we trip up. And of course, like any business, we have our ups, we have our downs.
This is actually a good response, what he's saying right here.
But as Mark Twain put it, reports of our death are greatly exaggerated. But here's the thing. There's something...
No, I mean, you're right. Like, this is the most effective, but this is his only option, okay? This is, like, the only thing he can say. Okay, like the Daily Wire is so cooked, bro. It's so bad. He's calling it an exaggeration. It's not an exaggeration. All of these, hit pieces that he's talking about, we're just accurately reporting on what is happening at the Daily Wire, which is they laid off, like... fucking everyone. They laid off like what was it, like over half of the staff, right? They fucking fired everyone. The Daily Wire is cooked, bro. It is done.
Going on here. The media left.
80% drop in viewership over the since 2023, over the last like 2 years, right? Since like late 2023, they have lost 80 or to 85%. It was something like that. It's some crazy number like that. They are so done, man.
Candace and Fuentes, Tucker, and Megan, all of them.
They've been hemorrhaging subscribers for months on their main YouTube channel. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're done.
The new life. They are attempting to destroy traditional conservatism. That's the whole thing here. See, the Daily Wire is the largest traditional...
Because you guys can't stop talking about Israel. That's the problem. Whenever you're saying that, like, Benjamin Netanyahu should be president of the world, that's going to be weird. Like, I'm like a white American guy, right? Like, that's weird for me to hear that. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Like, I thought this guy was the prime minister of Israel. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Straw man, though? I think that this is what my opinion is.
Yeah, that is a straw man, but, like, what he's saying is correct. Like, people don't like Ben Shapiro because of Israel, because Israel did a genocide, and Ben Shapiro was like, well, it's not a genocide. Muslims are savages. They play in their own excrement, like shit like that, like just the most vile, Islamophobic, most racist shit you've ever fucking heard. And don't get me wrong, Americans are like primed for that sort of thing, but not after, like you can't just deny reality in front of us. Like, the racism has to make sense. And the asymmetry between Israel and Palestinians is just so obvious. It's so obvious, and people have been seeing the death and the destruction, the genocide on their timelines for months. Okay, at this point, for years. Okay, but like, you know, look, Ben Shapiro signed his death warrant months ago. Right? He didn't flip on Israel. He could have, okay? I know it seems crazy, the idea of that being the case, but like, he could have swallowed his pride. He could have read the room and said, you know, even though it doesn't make sense for me to do this, like, I'm just gonna say fuck Israel. Like, he could have done it. Okay, he could have. But he decided not to do that. He doubled down, he tripled down, he quadrupled down, because he thought, I guess, that Americans were racist enough that it could work. Okay, like, oh yeah, Americans, they hate Muslims. They hate Muslims. It's like, well, it's not that simple, man. Americans need a narrative. They need a narrative that makes sense. You can't just say that Muslims are dogs because that's just the way it is. That's just the way they are. It doesn't make any sense.
I think that the conservative movement has had so many victories so fast that it doesn't know what to do with itself. I think that they have had such a resounding, ridiculous cultural sweep that they don't even know how to accommodate it. Like, they deleted DEI, like fucking elected Donald Trump again. They're going after, like, you could just openly say that you want to deport every illegal alien and you don't care about separating families. You want to deport legal aliens, right? Like, I mean, there has been so much, like, you can say how many genders there are again, everything. So what happened, I think, is that they had so much winning that it actually, like, broke their brains. And so instead of focusing on the common issues of, like, the common enemy, they effectively broke the common enemy. And instead of focusing on the residual issues after that, like, you know, for example, like the residual trans kids issues, etc., they started focusing on each other. I think that's what happened. It is.
Conservative media company in the digital space by like a ton, by leaps and bounds. We are multiple the size of any of these other. We have lots of conversations on our platform between our various hosts about topics ranging from AI to the Middle East, Catholicism and Judaism and all of it. There's a lot of rich disagreement here at the Daily Wire. But in the end, what we stand for here at the Daily Wire is pretty simple: truth and virtue and freedom. And that is what the new left, meaning, you know, the old left and the horseshoe right, would love to destroy. It's why the attacks have been coming fast and furious for weeks now. They want to destroy traditional conservatism. Is their goal in life. They want to destroy it for a couple of different reasons. The left for one reason, the woke right for another. In our supposed vulnerability, people from Nick Fuentes to Tucker, from Candace Owens to New York Magazine, from the Washington Post to Megyn Kelly, see an opportunity to supplant traditional conservatism.
I don't even want the right wing, the horseshoe right. I don't want the horseshoe right. It's sour grapes, bro.
Do you think that a lot of it is definitely they're doing it to be?
Oh, the horseshoe right is too racist. No, Ben, they're not too racist. They're just they're not pro-Israel. They're not sufficiently pro-Israel. Don't be mistaken. If people like Nicholas Fuentes, right, as anti-Semitic and racist as he is, he could, I'm serious. I'm so serious when I say he could be the same level of anti-Semitic if he were just pro-Israel. If people like him were just pro-Israel, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. They could do all the Jew hatred all day. All day, every day. If they were pro-Israel, Ben Shapiro would ride for them. Okay, but he can't do that because they're not pro-Israel. And that's why he's losing. Okay, he will not concede on this. He won't let bygones be bygones. He will not condemn Israel. He'll never do it.
It's opportunistic. They're doing it because they want to take advantage of the fact that, you know, they think Ben Shapiro is losing his audience. Here's the reality. A lot of the traffic for news channels and everything has gone down massively. It's gone down with everything. And do you know why? It's because nothing's happening. That's the reason why. So, and this has happened for people like Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro. It's happened for me with my videos about this. It's just in general, because I think people, like, everything is now kind of at a stasis point and there's nothing that's crazy that's happening. That's not a big deal. Sometimes a lot is happening. Sometimes not a lot is happening. That doesn't mean that like you're failing. That just means that at a certain point, whenever your attention is built around current events and there are no high, intensity current events that are happening, you're not going to have as many people paying attention. And that's the reason why media tries to create all these controversies. It's because the media wants to keep people paying attention. And I don't think that's a big deal. It's really not. There is a lot happening though. Not really. There's nothing that's like, well, what's really happening right now that's interesting? You have the Iran standstill, right? There's like an armistice basically that nobody knows what's going to happen. They're like kind of just playing games behind some kind of fucking curtain. You don't really know what's happening. The China, what are you talking about? I'm being honest, right? Let's wait a couple months, midterms will peak again. Yeah, I mean, if you Cuba, nobody cares about that. People don't really care about that much. Like, we're not even doing anything with Cuba. Trump meeting with China. What does that mean though? Like, I mean, again, these aren't things that engage the average and the general population into politics. That's the point that I'm making. Whenever like a political season is in swing, right? So you have like the midterms and especially the presidential election, that's whenever you have everybody talking about these topics and, leading up to it and then following it about how it's resolved. And so when you don't have that, there has to be something else. But sometimes there's not. Ben is pissed on X though. Yeah, these are normal things. Yeah, things go up, they go down. And yeah, that's it. It happens every time. So the amount of, again, popularity people have is going to be derived from what they're covering. It's the same as like any video game, for example. If you're talking about video games all the time and there's no interesting video games that are out, then you're not going to have as many people that are watching your show. But if like, I mean, look at World of Warcraft, like a new WoW expansion comes out, every WoW streamer has, has a fucking, what do you call it? They have like an increase in viewership. And it's the same with any game. So this is just normal. And I think that it's one of the big differences where it separates people that are doing things opportunistically versus people that are doing things because they have like an investment and they care about it. Because if the only thing that you care about is getting more people to watch, then that's what's going to happen.
Things that actually happen, by the way. But nobody really cares very much because, yeah, those people have significant audience numbers.
Okay, I can't remember why you started talking about that. I agree with that shit. It's just that, what does that have to do with the Daily Wire? Because, like, yeah, I understand. They're doing the political game, right? They're in politics, okay. That's not what's going on here, though. Like, I don't know if that's what he was saying, but, like, the Daily Wire failed. Not because people are disinterested in politics during the off-season. They failed because the Daily Wire decided to keep supporting Israel. And denied the starvation campaign. And, said that Palestinians are like human-animal dogs, dog people, or whatever.
They don't have any real conspiratorial, grievance,
That's what they did.
Nutty version of populism. Or, in Megan's case, just make some quick clicks and cash. It's a lucrative grift. It's a dangerous grift for America. So, why is this happening? Well, obviously, for the media left, we get it. For the media left, we get it. They're always happy to run this grift because they love a right that is crazy. They don't want a right that is characterized by normie beliefs. They want a right that's nuts. Because the easiest way to make AOC president in the 2028 election is to have that nutty lady run against a conservative movement.
If you think that hag is going to beat Marcus Rubius, you're out of your mind. Like, you're actually retarded. She's not going to, are you kidding me? There's no way.
Is focused on Brigitte Macron's testicle or demon attacks in the wilds of Maine, or why the Jews are responsible for your incurable gingivitis and horrific body odor. And
dude, I would love them to run Marco Rubio. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, run him. Dude. Marco Rubio is like the Gavin Newsom of the right, bro. I swear. Like, he's totally uncharismatic. He just gives off loser energy. He looks like a goblin. Right? Like, at least Gavin Newsom is, like, somewhat conventionally attractive. Marco Rubio just looks like he fell off of a moving truck. He looks terrible.
Inability to get a date.
Also, he's a dumbass. He's an incompetent dumbass.
What?
I don't think they'll run him, though.
This fucking asshole. What the fuck?
Only in my wildest dreams.
Now, as for the woke right, the new left, again, that would be Fuentes and Tucker and Candace and company. They're ecstatic
new
about
left.
For both business and political reasons. One, they're our competition. But second, they want to tear down traditional conservatism. Their whole goal is to cannibalize the traditional conservative audience.
I love how I'm never categorized as a political creator because everybody...
Yeah, no, man. Their job is to usher in fascism. Okay, that's what the Nick Fuentes crowd is doing. That's what Tucker Carlson is doing. Right? We're doing yeah, we're leaving conservatism behind. Fuck conservatism. What the fuck is conservatives have been winning since before I was born, since way before I was born, and look at the country. Oh, let's go back. Let's go back to the before times. Like, yeah, it never works. It's not gonna work. For a litany of reasons. Okay, so then there's two. So then after that, you got two, clashing oil and water. Okay, you got progressive ideology. Let's do socialism. Let's give people what they need: housing, healthcare, yada yada. And then you got fascism. Let's brutalize the brown people That'll make our country better. Let's militarily dominate the world more overtly, like we weren't doing that enough already. That's it.
He has rightfully clocked me as just a cannibalistic, opportunistic vulture that loves watching people suffer, and I love farming other people's problems for content. It has nothing to do with any, like, yes, there's an ideology that drives this, but, yeah.
There are, by all available metrics, a hell of a lot more traditional conservatives and rational people in this country than nuts.
Yeah.
But their goal is to gut the conservative movement and then turn it
That's
into
not
a
his
for their
sister.
own perverse
I know who you're
power.
talking about. It's
That's
not
the
his
whole
sister.
thing, which is why many of them are now coming out as Democrats. That unity is the thing. That unity is the thing. This is why Russia Today is the official outlet for the Kremlin, and it is run by the Russian government, is retweeting Nick Fuentes' triumphalism today. Fuentes tweeted out, "I won," after that New York Magazine piece came out. If Fuentes won, well, I don't know.
Yeah, dude. The Russian Federation famously is so left wing. You know, they're so left wing.
Streaming for 8 hours a day while jacking off to the cat boys. It's a form of winning, I said. All right, whatever floats your boat, dude. You might call the Russia Today Fuentes get-together an online Molotov-Ribbentrop attack. Well, it's also why the Washington Post is happy to quote Candace Owens, the ranting bag lady of the internet, to explain that the Daily
That was good.
Wire's numbers are down. Again, that alliance...
It's crazy that he called Candace Owens.
Yeah, you got... Yeah, making fun of, gay, twink, Nazi, Mexican homosexuals. No, we can't. No catboy jokes, okay? But call a woman a bitch, a crazy cat lady, Asmongold. That's Asmongold shit right there.
Megan Kelly.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is wow.
Yeah, call her a bitch.
Between the left and the woke right is totally real.
Come on, man.
This is why they're getting together to formulate stories.
Call her a stupid bitch.
Says that the Daily Wire's numbers are down because people don't want to be lectured. And this is the teenage point of view from Candace and Megan and Tucker. They're all saying the same thing. They don't want to be lectured. Don't lecture me. Megan tweeted in March 2026. You're the coward, Ben, and your moral preening priggish lectures and holier than thou judgments are the reason you are losing fans, and more than that, friends at a record rate. All these people are on the same script. They're all on the same script. And also,
you know what I hate to say? I kind of respect Ben for doing this. I do. I'm not like a huge Ben Shapiro fan, but he's held frame on this the entire time. He's right. Yeah. He knows it's over. But the thing is that, like, it might be over for him, but even if it's over for him, he's going out on his own terms. He is, but like,
really?
I do think that if his subscribers go down, he should make the hat
Because
smaller.
it kind of feels like he's flailing right now.
Like, I mean, you can't wear. I mean, can you
Feels
really have
like
that
he's
big of a hat if you're
crying.
losing that many subs? I mean, come on.
because it's people who traffic
It's
and rap for sweet Luger, they would love to be spared lecture.
That's what
They
it
don't
feels
want to
like to
lecture
me.
as they grift. So they're going to do the same thing that, you know, a 13-year-old boy would do if caught doing naughty things on his iPad.
What?
They don't want to be lectured. Don't lecture me. Well, it turns out sometimes in life, people need lectures in decency, in reason, and in truth. You know, people who smear the wives of murdered men, or cover for people who smear for the wives of murdered men.
Talk about,
Those people deserve lectures.
yeah.
Maybe the people who revive Nazi propaganda.
Oh.
Maybe the people who have a weird interest in the non-existent testicles of the spouses of French politicians. Or maybe the people who make a cause.
I think that if Ben Shapiro was slightly more charismatic, he could totally wipe the floor with these people. Because he's right. When you have a ranting bag, like the ranting bag lady, who's talking about whether the wife of the Prime Minister of France has a dick or not, and then she's also talking about talking to a person in a dream, and then after that, what was the other one?
With, you know, actual...
I think he is kind of charismatic. Okay, but hear me out. Hear me out. Ben Shapiro, yes, he's smarmy. Yes, he's annoying. I think he doesn't know how to read a room. Right? He's always on one speed, which is smarmy. Okay? He kind of has the same problem that Bill Maher has. Right? I talk about Bill Maher and like how conservatives are like him, but Ben Shapiro is very closely aligned with Bill Maher and kind of gives off the same energy. You know? But anyway, oh yeah, that's much better. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but Ben Shapiro, I think he is pretty charismatic when he's in the right situations. You know, he's just kind of autistic, I think, basically. Oh yeah, but anyway, in this case, the reason that he's failing isn't because he's uncharismatic. It's because he's pro-Israel. That's it. Nobody really fucking cares if he's charismatic anyways. Nobody ever did. They just wanted to see him make fun of blue-haired SJWs.
Maybe those people deserve
Yeah,
lectures.
yeah. Oh, with Erica Kirk trying to get her husband killed. I mean, really?
Sure. Maybe the people who are repeating talking points from Hassan Piker and mimicking the propaganda of Vladimir Putin. Or people who just randomly start cursing so much and are hanging out with the Groyper adjacents and embracing Islam.
Oh.
Maybe those people deserve lectures. I don't know. Well, listen, there's always a big YouTube audience for that sort of crap.
Yeah.
But let's be real, there's a massive online audience for
Islam.
People addicted to both deserve a bit of a lecture. But let's get back to the central issue. The point of the attacks on the Daily Wire.
He really is. He is willing to go down with this ship. I respect this. I do. That is, dude, he's so sanctimonious about it. He's so patronizing. I love this. That was good, not gonna lie. It is. It's good. I'm starting to respect this. It's like whenever, like, I feel the same way about this I felt with Mark Zuckerberg, and where they said that Meta is losing billions of dollars and Mark won't stop. I'm like, you are gonna ride this ship down to the bottom of the fucking ocean. And man, I gotta respect that. That's a man with a vision. It is. Might not be a vision I agree with, but you've got a vision for this. Respect because you can keep farming them? Yeah.
Is, of course, not just to attack the Daily Wire. It's to destroy traditional conservatism. That's the whole thing, the entire thing, all of it, every bit of it. That's the whole thing. The reason they are coming after the Daily Wire is because they want to come after you. They want to come after traditional conservatives who believe traditionally conservative things. It's no coincidence that at the same time, the Washington Post and New York Magazine and all the rest of these legacy left publications are attacking the Daily Wire. They're also writing strange new respect features on Ned Fuentes and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson. The left wants those people to win. By the way, they're not hiding it very well. New York Magazine's piece says, quote, like the Rockefeller Republican of yore, the Shapiro Republican could go extinct entirely. That's what they want. Right? They want traditional normie Republicans to go away. That's what they want. That's what they hope for. And listen, maybe it will turn out that all these people who hate conservatism and what I consider to be traditional American principles, maybe they're right. Maybe it'll turn out that the future of the right, perverted by the algorithmic insanity of the internet, is sloppyism. You know, the Tucker-style grievance conspiracism, complete with the night-scratching demons. Or Candace Owens' usual brand of kookery. Or Nick Fuentes' transgressive Nazi cosplay. Or Theo Vaughn's man-child podcast illiteracy. Maybe.
He's just really, bro, he's lashing out. He is, bro. Oh my God. He's just going, this is good. Sloppyism? Oh my God. Cooking everybody. Is he wrong? I like Nick. The other ones, I think he's kind of right about. Yeah, I think he's kind of right.
That's where the right goes. Maybe that's what comes next. Maybe that's all facilitated by the click whoring of the Megyn Kellys of the world and justified by an appeal to audience numbers because none of these people ever appeal to morality. They just point to their clicks. Maybe Idiocracy wasn't a satire. Maybe it was a prophetic documentary. But here's the thing, from where I sit. That does not change one single thing for me. Not a single thing. See, here's the thing. I've been doing this since I was 17 years old. I started off when I was 17 years old writing a syndicated column.
Everyone is stupid except for me. And that's why I'm failing. Everyone is just stupid. Americans are dumb.
that's what he's saying, man. He's saying, you know what, Ben? Why don't you just go to Israel? Why don't you just go be a fucking annoying liberal in Israel? How about that? How about that? You fit right in. You fit right in. Yeah, you'd be more left-wing, relatively there, right? You wouldn't have the, you wouldn't be able to play the right-wing talking points as hard. You'd have to go more liberal, but like, do it, man. You love Israel. Americans hate it. They hate you. Maybe they'll like you over there. Who knows?
On politics. I didn't do that because I wanted to
kick rocks.
Not to get rich. I got into politics because I cared about the truth, about saying things that I believe to be eternal and true, because I care about the ideas of conservatism. It's why I've done that for all these years. I care about free markets, and I care about private property, and I care about equal rights before the law, and checks and balances, and the Constitution. I care about all of those things.
Man,
I care about the America that the founders promised us, and the America that our parents and grandparents fought and worked for. And I'm not going to lie for cash. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to tell you about the wonders of Moscow supermarkets or the glories of Sharia law in Qatar. I'm not going to pander for clicks by pretending that Erica Kirk might have been complicit in Charlie Kirk's murder, or that perverse and malicious questions about TPUSA's cover-up are somehow bizarre.
I mean, you don't really have to pretend, bro. You don't have to pretend. But you were probably in on it. Let's be for real. You were probably in on the assassination, okay? I'm just saying, like, Ben Shapiro is like the last motherfucker defending Israel in conservative politics, right? He's one of the last. I mean, you still got Fox News, but even they, like, kind of shy away from it. Like Ben is on the front lines, bro. He is on the front lines of the information war. He is ride or die for Israel. He doesn't give a fuck anymore. That's what's going on. But anyway, I forgot what my point was. I forgot. Hold
pretending
on.
that Erica Kirk might have been complicit in Charlie Kirk's murder, or that
yeah. Anyway, Israel definitely killed Charlie Kirk. Like, it had to be them. Who else? Who else? I know, dude. All of my haters be like, you're just like Hassan. You're just like white Hassan. You're just like white boy Hassan. It's like, man, I don't agree with him on everything, and he like said multiple times, like, I just don't think Israel killed him, and I'm like, why? Why not? Because he wasn't anti-Israel. Like, so that doesn't matter. Like, I don't know, Hassan. Like, if you do end up watching this somehow, I mean, probably not. Like, you got a lot of shit on your plate, big dog. I know, but like, dude, why? Why couldn't Israel assassinate Charlie Kirk? I don't know. Like, haven't they killed like, I mean, it's not like they've killed someone as publicly or as or with as much clout as Charlie Kirk, right? But like, they've certainly murdered people for less. A lot less. Americans even. So, you know, it's not really that that Charlie Kirk was anti-Israel. He wasn't. He just wasn't sufficiently pro-Israel, is my argument. Like, he was posturing himself. Do you understand? He was posturing in a little too anti-Israel fashion. You know? That's why they killed him.
TPUSA
Maybe I'm crazy.
Somehow a bizarre form of investigative journalism. I'm not going to wink and nod.
He's right about all of this, by the way. He's completely right. I know you guys might, like, I mean, and again, I think that we're generally negative towards Ben, but, like, he's totally right about this.
At the transgressiveness of the Nazi incels, or chuckle along with people who pretend that a conspiratorial elite are the reason your life isn't everything that you want it to be. In the freest and most prosperous country in world history, I'm going to be grateful for America, and I'm going to point out what's great about America and what our principles are. I'm not going to do any of that other stuff. Because here's the thing, I got into this business to do precisely the opposite.
Yeah, nobody feels like you, Ben. And this part, the fact that Asmongold agrees with him about this, it really shows how out of touch he is. Because Asmongold, he, you know, people relate to him, right? He is kind of a man of the people. And to some extent, he's still in the loop with normal people. But but this just shows, like, how far gone he is so far already. Like Asmongold, you have to always remember, he is a millionaire. Right? He is a multi-millionaire, and he has been for a hot minute, okay? For a while now. He has been rolling in it. And, yeah, I mean, like, oh, yeah, dude, America is so great. Yeah, everybody's having such a great time in America, yeah. Oh, we just love it. We just love America right now. Yeehaw! 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 Roll Tide!
Changed my principles. I've been doing this for 25 years. I have not changed my principles. Now, there's a question that I get
Israel's giving you good checks? I hope so.
From friends, from family. People will come up and they'll say, what happened to all these people? Yeah, they understand New York Magazine and Washington Post and what they are, but what happened to, you know, Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson or Megan?
$7,000.
Well,
so
I'll give you an
funny.
example for me. A lot of my audience was not happy about the fact that I supported the Iran war. Who cares? Who cares? That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. It's the same as
yeah,
people...
I wonder why. I wonder why your audience didn't like that you were a fan of a pointless war that will result in the deaths of countless Americans if we continue going to war with them. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder why they didn't like that very much.
weren't happy whenever I said that
Actually, it is a little surprising because a lot of his audience is European.
supported like trans people. Like I didn't care about people being trans. Who cares? If it's what you think, then what is... So this is my outlook on it, okay? Why is it that I have invested a decade of my life, years of my life, into building what I have, doing all of this, in order to avoid having a boss at work, only to replace it with having thousands of bosses as viewers? Why would I do that? What's the reason? Stupid. Fuck that.
Kelly and all the rest. And I don't know the answer because I'm not a psychiatrist. But here's what I do know. Nobody has ever asked that question about me. No one. Because my worldview has not changed. It has not changed. My principles haven't changed because I think those principles are true and good. And those principles are not going to change. So, in the end, take it or leave it. If people decide they don't want to hear it, it's
He always
their
looks
that's their choice.
to his
But
left.
I am willing to bet my future and the future of America that more Americans agree with me than agree with the people who want to destroy the Daily Wire. I'm betting there are a lot more rational people in this country than conspiracy-mongering nutjobs. I'm betting that there are way more people in America who believe in truth and virtue and freedom than people who revel in grievance and demoralization and stupidity. And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we lose. But here's the thing. That also doesn't change a thing. It doesn't change a thing. It doesn't matter. Because the only thing that matters is the only thing that has ever mattered to me. Speaking the truth, whether people like it or whether they don't. Because facts still don't care about your feelings. This is the Ben Shapiro Show.
I gotta respect it, man. The entire internet is out to get him, and he holds frame.
Facts don't care about your feelings
either,
Ben.
Even if you don't agree with him, you have to
Show
admit
is dead.
that it's impressive to see somebody that stays in there. We got harder if you didn't have the alcohol.
It's your fault.
That's not true. Okay, look. So there are a number of things that I think that he has. That there's a messaging problem that he has. Number one, it's the messaging around Israel and downplaying people's legitimate concerns that we have so much interplay with Israel. Meanwhile, we have other countries that we seemingly have a lot more in common with, like European countries, places like Canada, and even a country like Japan. It seems like there is very clearly a disorientation there, where a lot of people's concerns for Israel do not begin and end at, let's say, the USS Liberty or the the Iran war. I think that there is a much deeper and a much greater concern that people have that I think that Ben Shapiro doesn't do enough to address and I guess like give people any sort of resolution on. And I don't think that he's doing that in the right way. Lose no ground exactly. Or the Gaza genocide. Well, I mean, again, Palestine is like a secondary issue because it's literally on the other side of the world. I'm talking about what average Americans think here in America. So that's I think number one. Number two is the messaging about how it's not somebody else that's holding you back and holding you down. I think that in a lot of cases, actually, it is. I think that you have some conservatives that are saying saying that you have to pull yourself up from your bootstraps, but at the same time, that messaging falls flat when you have DEI initiatives that privilege every single person except for, let's say, a regular white male. So whenever there's a lot of guys that are white guys that are consuming this content, and you're looking at systematic disenfranchisement in multiple levels, and then you have somebody like Ben Shapiro saying that you shouldn't expect to be able to afford where you lived, where you grew up and to live at, it can feel incredibly patronizing and problematic. And so those are the two weaknesses that I think Ben has that are making him not resonate with people. It's the unrelenting and the complete moral absolutism of Israel. Like, I understand that Israel is fighting a war, they're defending themselves, etc., but to portray it in a way
I mean, he's touching on something real here, which is, like, the obvious thing about Ben Shapiro is he's pro-Israel, and Americans generally are not anymore. But that's not the full picture, okay? It's just not. Like, that's not why people are fed up with the Daily Wire. It's not the whole reason, anyway. It might not even be the main reason. It's kind of hard to say, because Americans do really care about Israel, at least from young people do. But I kind of think that the whole vibe of like America is great. We love America is so awesome. It's so awesome living here. Like America #1. Like that's what people don't like that either. They really don't like that. I think they probably don't like that even more than they dislike the pro-Israel thing. I don't know. It could be crazy. But anyway,
it is sad to see what's happened to the people in Gaza. Even if you think
because every American
you can also
is
admit that there's a lot of people that have been caught
right
in the crossfire of that, and it's horrible what's happened to them. And I think that not being able to give any ground to that and have a reasonable, middle of the road perspective on that, I think it's misleading and it's inaccurate. That's the problem. Is that you can have empathy, for example, like even the Russian soldiers that are being killed by Ukraine. Many of these men don't want to go to war against Ukraine. They're getting conscripted into war. Same as the men in Ukraine. Most of the guys that are dying in ditches to a drone that plays a song and then explodes. Do you think they want to be there? Fuck no, they don't want to be there. This is something that, again, it's like, old men start wars so young men can go die in them. That's what happens. And so not being able to acknowledge this reality and any form of humanity to it, I think the problem with that is that you paint a picture that is myopic, it is also reductive, and it denies people a certain level of humanity that I think that really a lot of people can understand. And that's the main problem that I think Ben has with Israel, and I think also downplaying the connections that Israel has with America. And the thing is, like, you can't distill that down into just simply Israel and American politicians are like, doing the Iran war. Like, I support the Iran war. I don't support AIPAC. Like, I feel like how many of you guys feel the same way that I do? Like, yeah, I think Iran is a huge problem, but I also don't want Israel that has a pack in America that are trying to advocate for their own interests, right? I mean, like, what the fuck?
Why?
So I think there's a lot,
why is Iran a huge problem? Okay, I like it how Asmongold, what he's saying here is basically like, guys, I'm Islamophobic, okay? Like, Iran is a savage country, even though they've done nothing to us or any of our allies or really anyone ever until we bomb them. But I'm also anti-Semitic, guys. Don't worry. I'm also an anti-Semite.
Right?
Do not worry.
But here, let me see. Do you have anything that's worthwhile? What is this here? Let me pull this up. So, Bennett, you're cook, bro. You're a slave to viewers, so I continue to stream. Pretty simple when you think about it. So, wait a minute. So, what am I saying that you dislike? What am I saying you dislike about this? Is this pro-incel messaging? I hope so. And so anyway, so let me go back. I'll just keep talking about this. But then that's like a secondary issue. The primary issue that Ben Shapiro has is that his messaging no longer resonates with young men, because it doesn't take into consideration the immediate structural disadvantages that men don't have. Like, you need to be talking about things like DEI. You need to be talking about things like preferential hiring practices, other forms of systematic racism that's engineered against people that are white, Jewish, and Asian. And this is something that's happening on a mass scale. But you're not talking about that, and you're talking about how people should improve their lives. And I think that and the problem is that Ben Shapiro is also right.
DEI is bad for Asian people. Oh, it is, even though they're not white. And DEI is just bad for white people, is what I keep saying, but it is also bad for Asian people. It's so crazy, man. DEI is not bad for white people, by the way.
But it's just harder to do whenever you don't have those institutional advantages. And fraud and immigrants get free money. Exactly. That's the main problem. And it's a matter of affirming your frustration. Don't tell me, are you really another one of these people? You've been crashing out constantly, but you don't have anything to say? This is so annoying. Where do these people come from? Like, I don't understand this. Oh my God. What is this? What is going on? Bro, he left. Did he run away? What is this? Oh, it's so annoying, isn't it? Like, I just wish that some of these people would have something to say, so there's like, I can go off of it and talk about something. But it's always the most retarded, brain-dead fucking thing. Oh, it's so annoying that they're like this. It is. And anyway, this keeps happening all the time. It sure does. It's so disappointing. Anyway, so what is everybody saying? All the haters can kiss my ass. Most podcasts I listen to at 2x speed, but Ben is only at 1. True. You're telling most of America to kiss your ass? A very Jewish message. Dude, Dan.
I don't think Elon Musk watched.
What do you mean? Yeah, based Elon. It's just really crazy. You said Nick Fuentes.
Everything that whenever it comes to consuming media, right? Anything, video games, movies, TV. Whenever Elon Musk is talking about like what he watches, what he plays, he's lying. Okay, he doesn't do any of that. I honestly think he just like watches paint dry for fun, like, or he does something equally as useless and boring. Like, I don't think he has any interest, man. All he does is fuck up his companies, fuck over his employees, and tweet. That's all he does. He doesn't do anything else. I'm so serious, dude. I don't think he does anything.
Why don't you debate him, scared clown?
Am I crazy?
I don't know. And God bless and protect you, Ben. Why the Iraq War is right for America. Not a good one, right? Definitely not a good one here. Why does it actually matter who shot JFK? I mean, again, you have to reconcile these things. You do. You need to reconcile and this doesn't look good. Especially whenever, why does it matter who shot JFK? Well, because the people who thought it, they think it was the Jews. And that's the issue.
Yeah, it wasn't Israel, by the way, that shot JFK. It was the CIA.